Welcome to another Soccer Down Here 1v1. As a part of our USL League One coverage, we go to Nebraska and catch up with someone that a lot of folks in the footprint might remember from the previous stop on his resume with the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Time to catch up with Greg Hurst at Union Omaha. Greg, thanks for hanging out for a 1v1.
Thanks very much for having me.
All right, so let's just go to the beginning of your time there. And a lot of folks remember you, at least in the southeastern United States, from your time in Chattanooga. What attracted you to Union Omaha, and why go there next?
I think the main thing for Union Omaha was I spoke to the head coach, Jim Evans, in the off-season quite a few times, and he was very keen on getting me up and getting me to sign for the club. You know, I think he was probably the driving factor in that because he showed so much interest in me to come over. And as a player, that's always nice to feel like you're wanted at a club. And also, having watched the Omaha play last year, I respected the style of play and I thought it would suit me well. And it was obviously a team that are challenging, you know, to go and win the league and win the championship. So that's obviously something I want to do. I think a combination of those things really made me think that, you know, this was the best place for me to come and continue my career over here in the States.
What has it been like for you, and how much of an education has it been to find out about what soccer means to the Midwest and to specifically the soccer community there in Nebraska? How much of an education has it been for you?
Massive for me, you know, coming over from the UK where soccer is, you know, life for pretty much everybody there. I've seen a lot of things, and I've been a part of a lot of clubs that have big fan groups. So coming over here, it was kind of, you know, you don't know what way it's going to go. But certainly after the, you know, even just being announced on Twitter that I signed here, I realised what a massive following the club had. And obviously just last week against Chattanooga, we had the highest ever attendance for a professional soccer match in Omaha, or in Nebraska even. So that was kind of just shows you how much the fans really care about the club. It's a great atmosphere as well, and I love playing the home games that we're in our park. It's just the best atmosphere and the best fans in the league. And you know, they're just each game there's just more and more fans coming, which says a lot about the club as well. And I think it's just a great place to be.
Because at the same time, I mean, you know, going to your previous stop and talking about Omaha, there's also that college football footprint. And you have the southeastern United States and in Chattanooga, whether it's Tennessee, Chattanooga, or the University of Tennessee, or anyone else there in the state of Tennessee, very, very heavy college football. So you know what those kinds of fans mean. And so you've gone from basically the Southeastern Conference to now be a part of things technically now in the Big 10 and in the Big 12 before that. So you're getting to kind of see the fever that you know about from back home applied differently now with your stops here in the States.
Yeah, exactly. Just like you said last year, you know, the time I spent in Chattanooga, you know, we still got fans out to the games, but you could tell, you know, everybody just wanted to wait for Sunday to watch the football. And like you said, college football was huge. Also something that I enjoyed experiencing because we don't have that back home. So to watch, you know, hundreds of thousands of fans support a college football team, it's nice to see and nice to be a part of. But, you know, shifting at the Midwest, and, you know, the focus really is on soccer up here, which is great for us and great for the club. I think they've came in at a great time to, you know, build a professional soccer team here in Omaha. And, you know, the fans have taken to it really well, and they've just kind of cemented the decision from the owner to come and build a team here. I think, you know, like I said, the fans have been brilliant. We get more and more every game, which is just kind of shows you how well the club's doing. So, yeah, it's great to be a part of.
And at the same time, right now, top of the table when it comes to USL League One. And I think you're pulling in an average of 2 points a match so far this season. And I know that a lot of folks look at the folks at the top and they gravitate toward Union Omaha. They gravitate toward Greenville Triumph, and they gravitate toward those franchises so far in USL League One. What's it been like for you to experience the new rivalries and the new rivals that you're getting to go up against here in this league?
Yeah, I think it's great. I don't think there was as much of that last year, or I wasn't aware of it as much. But ever since the day one being announced as an Omaha player, I was always getting subtweeted on Twitter, different fan groups, like, and all the banter between them, which is funny. So yeah, it's kind of opened my eyes to see that there is that kind of rivalry that people think's missing in soccer in the US, and it's good that it's in League One to a certain extent. It's harmful. It's all in good faith, and it's enjoyable to be a part of, especially the top 2 or 3 teams. The fan groups really get after it, which is, it makes for more exciting games as well when those kind of teams play each other.
All right, so you're getting subtweeted here. What kind of smack are they running when they're looking at you on Twitter here? What kind of stuff are we talking about here?
I mean, it's more, if I've scored, and a Union Omaha fan tweets about me, then a Greenville fan will tweet about Lomas and how he scored more, and just all things like that, which it's good fun. You can't take it personally. You know that it's all in good fun, and when you're playing in a kind of sport that has a good reputation, you're going to attract that kind of that kind of banter and stuff, and I'm all for it. I love it, so it's good fun.
When you're in each of these stops, I know that there are coaches that rub off on you. When it comes to Coach Mims, if you could describe his philosophy and how it applies to what Union Omaha wants to do on a daily basis, how would you describe the philosophy of Union Omaha to someone who might know Union Omaha just from League One, but not as deep a dive as players and fans there in Nebraska know it? How would you describe the philosophy?
I think professionalism is the main thing, and just the whole everyone's together, and not just with the players and the staff, like the whole one means all, like the whole club's together. He always reiterates how important it is to work as hard and play as well as we can for the fans. But going into a more soccer thing, it's more just working hard, working for each other, and then when the chance is there to go and express yourself and have fun. But it's a very professional setup. I noticed that from the first few days that I came in. Everything was done the way you'd expect a professional club to be done, and better. So yeah, I think he's really nailed in on that kind of thing, and making sure that he gives all these players the best environment possible for them to go and produce the best soccer that they can, which is so important. And I think all the players have taken to that really well.
What's it like being the point of the spear? Because I know that the spotlight shines on you when it comes to goals and offense, considering that you've got 7, and then you've got Evan and Nicholas Firmino, Amer, Dalton, Villader, Devin, Faraday, Sosa. All of them, you have to take them, and you've got to take 5 of those 6 to add up to get what your output has been this year. What's it like for you from your perspective, knowing that you're the focal point of this offense, or the guy that's benefited the most from how the offense is going forward?
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's probably, I wouldn't say I'm the focal point. I think it's just benefited me the most so far. I like playing aggressively, and that's the kind of style we play. We press high from the front, so we force a lot of mistakes, especially at Werner Park. If you win the ball back off the defence, you're not too far away from goal because the pitch is quite small. But even just, you've listed off a lot of players there that have already scored, and that just kind of sums us up as a team. We have a lot of players that can chip in with goals. It doesn't just have to be the forward players. Obviously, I've been lucky enough that I've had enough chances to get some numbers on the board this year. But, we've got 3 defenders scoring goals. We've got midfielders scoring goals. We've got Rashid in goals getting assists. So, I just think it kind of sums up our mentality as a team. We feel like we can score from anywhere in the park. We don't have to rely on certain players, and our style of play helps that as well.
You've got some time off. It's odd being in a bit of a bye weekend and watching everybody else play and fight underneath you in the standings where things are pretty cramped. Greenville's only a point behind. Chattanooga, who you drew with last time out, they're 4 back. And then there's that gaggle right there from basically 3 through 8, where if you've got a good week, you can rocket up into the playoff picture. Do you want the off weekend and watch everybody else, or because you've been on this run of form, do you want to keep things going? What's the mentality of the guys right now getting to watch for a change?
I think I can understand why, teams might not want the break because we were in a bit of a good run. But I think this feeling in the locker room was that we kind of needed it. Our style of play is very intense. It's very 100%. So I think to have a week off and, just recuperate and recover to get everybody feeling back to 100% is important for us. And it also gives us a chance to step back and have a look at the league. And, you never know what's going to happen in this league. Like you said, like one team winning 2 or 3 on the bounce can, put them up into 3rd or 2nd place. So sometimes it's nice to just sit back, see what the results happen this weekend, and then reevaluate where we need to go from, the following week when we come back and we play Madison.
So now that you have a weekend to yourself, I mean, it's not that I want to invite the rest of Omaha to hang out with you and the guys this weekend, but what are the plans? I mean, is it where you're just going to kind of go out and venture out a little bit, try to do things kind of quietly? You sleeping in late? I mean, what's the plan here with you and the guys as you're getting to watch for a change?
Well, we've already had a couple of days off, so I've used them to kind of sleep in late and have a few junk meals here and there. But this weekend will probably be good weather, so I'll probably chill at the pool for a little bit with my girlfriend and just spend time with her, because I know, we've got road games coming up as well, and it can be difficult being away. So yeah, just kind of spend time with her and just let my body recover, pretty much.
So what is a junk meal for you? Because I know a junk meal for you is far different than a junk meal, which would be normal for me. What's a junk meal?
To be fair, I don't think mine would be too different, to be honest. I do like a Wendy's or a Chick-fil-A.
There you go.
I don't think I'll get in trouble for saying that. I'm a big candy guy as well. I like my Sour Patch Kids as well, so I'll probably have a couple packets of them over the week.
So, you've talked about junk food and all this kind of stuff. There's one other thing that I wanted to get into you with when it comes to USL League One, and I think it's something that fans may not necessarily get a full grasp of, and it's the travel part. Because going from Omaha to Tucson, going from Omaha to Madison, going from Omaha to Boston or to Atlanta or Savannah to go play Tormenta, I mean, it is travel adventures. And I mean, because last time I checked, there really aren't a whole lot of direct flights from Omaha to Statesboro, Georgia, as an example. What's the biggest misconception that you think folks have about travel and being a professional athlete that you can really kind of address here as to what the life is really like?
I think a lot of people see it as like if it's a one-off. You get on a 2-hour flight to a connecting airport, and then you're another, 90 minutes to wherever you're playing, and then it's just like a quick bus to the hotel. You get to relax. You play the game the next night, so you almost have 24 hours to recover. I can see why people might think that's not too difficult, but if you look back at the start of the season, after our first home game, we played 6 games on the road. So there was times where we didn't come home between games. We left on the Friday, didn't get back till the following Thursday, and you had midweek games as well. You're crossing time zones, so your body clock's off. Sometimes you're going to sleep a lot later than you would be, or you're going to bed a lot earlier than you would be and waking up really early. So these things over the course of a couple of weeks start to take their toll. Mentally, you start getting a bit more tired, and obviously physically, sitting on buses and planes for extended amount of time for athletes isn't great, but we try to do as much as we can in the hotel to keep our legs feeling fresh and going on walks, little recovery sessions, everything like that. But I think it takes out more from players than what people might think it will, especially, like I said, if you're doing a back-to-back trip where you don't have that time to come home. And people don't people forget as well, it's, everybody loves staying in hotels, but when you're doing it, 15 times a year, it's not as great as you think it is. Especially with COVID protocols and not being able to leave, can get a bit boring, a bit lonely sometimes. But overall, it's not the worst. It's not the worst life in the world.
The pride of Stirling, Scotland, striker for Union Omaha, Greg Hurst. Greg, thanks for hanging out with us here for a Soccer Down Here 1v1. Enjoy your fast food window. Enjoy your Sour Patch Kids. Enjoy watching the rest of USL League One as you get ready for Forward Madison next time out. Thanks for hanging out with us for a 1v1. Be safe, my friend.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.